You know, getting a simple yes or no answer in English, that's the easy part. But what about when you need real information? The details, the reasons, the locations? Well, there's a secret to that, a special set of tools. And in the next few minutes, we're going to master them together.
Okay, think about this question. What is your job? If someone just said yes to that, well, that doesn't really help, does it? Because you're not asking if they have a job, you're asking for the details. This is exactly why we need a whole different kind of question.
And it's the exact same thing here. Imagine asking this and just getting a yes. Super frustrating, right? You're not looking for a confirmation, you need directions. You need a specific place.
So, getting these kinds of answers isn't about luck. It's a skill. And the key to that skill is something called WH questions. We're going to break down exactly how they work, piece by piece, so you can go out and ask for pretty much anything with total confidence.
All right, let's start with the basics, your toolkit. We're talking about 4 key words here. These 4 words are basically the foundation for almost any information question you'll ever need to ask.
Okay, so each one of these words has a very specific job. You can think of them like keys that open different doors. What gets you information about things? Where unlocks information about places? When is all about time, and why gives you the reason. Getting this first step right, choosing the right word, is absolutely crucial.
So, let's dive into level 1. This is the easiest one, I promise. It's all about making questions with the verb to be. You know, the words is and are. And the formula here, it's super simple. Seriously, it's just 3 little parts. You've got your WH word, then you add is or are, and then the subject. That's it. Let's see it in action.
See that pattern? It just works. Where plus are plus you. When plus is plus the party. It's a really clean, reliable formula that you can literally start using right now.
Oh, and here's a quick tip that'll make you sound way more natural. In everyday conversation, native speakers almost always use contractions. So what is becomes what's, and where is turns into where's. Trust me, using these will make your questions sound so much smoother.
Okay, so you've got the hang of questions with is and are. Awesome. But what happens when we want to ask about actions? You know, verbs like work, live, or eat. Well, for those, we need to level up. Time for the next rule. Now, this is a really important point. That simple formula we just learned, it only works for is and are. For pretty much every other verb in English, all those action words, you're going to need a little bit of help. And that help comes from 2 tiny but super powerful words, do and does. We call them helper verbs. So the new formula just adds them in. You start with your WH word, then pop in the helper do or does, then your subject, and finally the main action verb.
So how do you know which one to use, do or does? It's actually really simple. Just remember this. You use do for I, you, we, and they, and you use does for he, she, and it. That's it. That's the whole rule.
Okay, listen up, because this is a super common mistake, and I want you to get it right. When you use does, the main verb does not get an S at the end. Why? Well, think of it this way. The word does has already taken the S. It's like a magnet. Does just pulls that S right off the main verb. So you say, where does he work? Never, ever, where does he works? Got it?
Ready for a pro tip? This is a really cool little trick for asking way more specific questions, and you don't even have to learn a new formula.
All you do is stick a noun right after the word what. This lets you zero in on the exact information you need. So instead of just a general question, you can ask something super specific like what color, or what time, or what sport. See how that works? This little combo makes your questions so much more powerful. All right, theory time is over. You've seen the rules, you've seen the formulas. Now it's time to put those new skills to the test. Let's do a little practice and see how you do. Okay, here's the first one. Do you go to buy bread? We're clearly asking about a place here. So, which WH word do you think fits? I'll give you a second to think about it.
Did you get it? The answer is where. Where do you go to buy bread? Of course, where is our go-to word for asking about a location. Great job. All right, next up. Where does she live? Okay, so our main verb is live. That's an action. And our subject is she. So which helper word are we going to use here? And the answer is does. That's right. Where does she live?
Remember that rule we talked about? For he, she, or it, you always use does. You're getting the hang of this.
Okay, final challenge. Time to put it all together. The words are you, what, eat for dinner. Use that action-verb formula we learned and build the complete question. You can do it.
Ready for the answer? It's what do you eat for dinner? Let's break it down. We've got our WH word, what. We use the helper do because our subject is you. Then comes the subject, and then our main verb, eat. See? Perfect structure.
And just like that, in only a few minutes, you've learned the key structures for asking for real information in English. You've officially moved beyond simple yes or no answers. Now, you have the tools to ask about, well, anything you want. So I guess there's only one question left to ask. What information will you go out and find today?